For Milan, there's no Maldini, Ambrosini or Inzaghi. Jose Chamot, a central defender, is pushed out to play at left fullback today. Contra on the opposite side of the Milan defence will try and get forward and add to his 3-goal tally already this season. In attack, Jose Mari has only found the back of the net twice. There's real pressure on him to support Andrei Shevchenko, who in truth has had his own critics so far this season. He has managed 13 goals. By most people's standards, that's a good return. For him, some say that's a little bit tardy. For Inter Milan, it's a very settled-looking lineup these days. The only notable omission is Ronaldo, of course, so Nicola Ventola partners Christian Vieri in attack. Ventola, who's missed so much of the season through injury, will be hoping to make up for lost ground. Vieri with this incredible strike rate of 17 in 16 games, but he's only managed to score once against Milan in a derby game. So Hector Cooper hoping to see his side stay on top of Serie A for another week. His counterpart today, Carlo Ancelotti. It's his first derby game in charge of Milan, but before the match starts, there's going to be recognition for another tragic occurrence in Serie A. Jason Mayele, a player born in Congo but on the books of Chiego, was tragically killed yesterday in a car accident on his way to the game against Parma. The match was quite rightly postponed, but it's the second time this season that this kind of tragedy has struck Italian football, and everybody here is recognising Jason Mayele. Serginho on the bench for Milan today. That's the midfield trio of Gattuso and Rui Costa. And today's referee is the most recognised referee in the world, Pierluigi Collina. It'll be Inter to kick off. Well, so many games such as this have seen Milan looking down their noses at Inter just because they have had more success in the last decade or so. But today it's a little bit different. It's Inter looking down the ladder at Milan. For once, the shoe is on the other foot. Just that alone is enjoyable for the Inter fans, but they'll want to really cement that kind of feeling with 3 points here today. Rocco Jr. plays a long ball forward. It's easily cut out. Well, already Ventola has gone down under a challenge there. I didn't see too much contact with Ventola from one of the other players. Well, in games such as this, some of the challenges in the early stages can be quite frightening. Nothing too sinister about that one, though. And Ventola is in trouble already in the opening minute. We've got the stretcher on. We'll just try and see what happened here. He just caught the ball in the face there of Rocco Jr. Well, if you've ever played the game and you've ever had a ball hit you fair and square on the nose, you'll know what a painful experience it is. And the bright red nose now of Ventola, the eyes are watering. But it won't be enough to see him go off, I'm sure. Here's Recoba. Rui Costa, Seedorf carrying on and getting a free kick as well there, Clarence Seedorf. Maybe just a little bit fortunate with that decision, but Alvaro Recoba is the most likely man to step up here as we see Seedorf go to ground. Rui Costa, and then Seedorf just ran into Albertini there rather than the other way round. Perhaps, if anything, it should have been a Milan free kick. It doesn't really matter. Biagio is not too far away from the ball either, but they've all left it for Alvaro Recoba. Here comes the Uruguayan. That's not a bad effort. Well, Abbiati made it look fairly simple, but he had to go the right way. He is a very nimble goalkeeper, moving across his goal line quickly and nicely. He's already naturally going that way, and he just pulled the ball down fairly simply in the end. Seedorf back to Zanetti, to Seedorf again. That's a brilliant pass. Here comes Ventola. Oh, that's great defending by Rocca Jr. And Shamot just comes along to help tidy up as well. Here's Kaladze. Rocca Jr. again. Shamot just trying to play his way out of trouble, which he does nicely. Oh, that's a brilliant ball for Shevchenko. He certainly got the speed on Cordoba, though Cordoba did manage to just get a little bit of a nudge on Shevchenko, and he's not happy with that decision, is he? Well, neither's the coach. Carlo Ancelotti just meanders out of the dugout. Doesn't say anything, but just the sheer movement of the coach suggested he wasn't happy with the decision. Should have been a corner for Shevchenko. That's a nicely won challenge by Materazzi, but here come Milan again. Well, that's a fine cross. The goalkeeper stayed on his line, and coming in at the back post just a little bit too vigorously as Gresco tried to play it down the line. The whistle's gone. Sometimes the players don't hear the whistle with the volume of noise from the crowd. Great cross. And coming in was Jose Mari, and a push on the defender in the process. And this is a Milan home game, even though they are both co-tenants of the San Siro. Seedorf just leaving his arm just a little bit loose for that challenge by Kaladze. Free kick to Milan. Shevchenko brings it down well in the area, waiting for some support. He goes alone. Well, he is one of the sharpest around, Andrei Shevchenko. Really, the shot there was unexpected. It was one that had the goalkeeper scrambling. He's really had his critics so far this season, Andrei Shevchenko. There was even talk of him being sold to Real Madrid, which is quite astonishing given his first 2 seasons that he's had in Italy, where he's been quite brilliant, marking himself as the best striker in the world in some people's eyes. 13 goals so far this season, so there's 6 or 7 players ahead of him in the chase for the leading goal scorer. That's an unusual place for him to be, but Inter are charging forward on the right now. Seedorf, little clip to the back post, interesting ball. Could have just drifted into the goal. Now Seedorf just clipping it, really. Vieri trying to get there. Well, there's Silvio Berlusconi, the Italian Prime Minister, who will have to relinquish his role as president of Milan in the not too distant future. Inter unwilling to relinquish their place at the top of the ladder as Ventola, well, just the attention shown by the defender was just a little bit too close. Contra, the Romanian, who really does have an eye for goal. He's got 3 goals so far this season, but he's a tight defender as well, as Ventola found out. Both of these sides had midweek UEFA Cup matches, and both coaches decided to rest their main men. Vieri for Inter and Shevchenko for Milan were rested during the week. Well, Recoba's even further out this time. Is he going to try another shot? No. Trying to catch them by surprise with Gresco. Well, Vladislav Gresco scored for Inter against AEK Athens during the week. A 2-2 draw, but Inter went through to the quarterfinals. So did Milan. And the two sides avoided each other in the draw. But imagine that, a Milan derby in either the semis or the final of a European title. And Rui Costa takes a tumble. So Materazzi gets the yellow. It's still Milan 0, Inter 0. Seedorf, who does keep his width for most of the 90 minutes. Jose Chamot taking the throw in. He's asked to play left back today. It's an unfamiliar position for him, really. He's made a name as a central defender, not always in the plans of Ancelotti, but he is today. And there's another free kick. And this first half really has been quite littered with clumsy challenges, and that was another one from Christian Vieri. He gets a yellow. And what for? I'm not sure, because it was Gattuso who certainly had his foot up very high. Well, Pierluigi Collina, regarded as one of the best around. Shevchenko to Contra, deep ball, great chance! Not taken by Jose Mari, but the best of the game so far. There's something that Toldo's not happy with, probably his side's defending. That was a brilliant cross. Jose Mari seemed to be up waiting for it perfectly, but the header downwards was outside the post, and that's a let-off for Inter. Shevchenko into the area, Rui Costa going in. Toldo didn't pick the ball up, but Gresco tidied up. Well, Inter started the stronger, but Milan now have the upper hand. Rocco Jr. trying to switch it to Kaladze. Seedorf misjudged it. Kaladze! Well, it probably would have missed, but Toldo had to make absolutely certain, which he did. This is the earlier chance when Rui Costa went through the centre. Gresco held him off. Toldo came out and it slipped through his legs somehow. Well, there's no Ronaldo in the lineup for Inter today, though the reports say that apparently he is watching the game from his beach house in Rio de Janeiro, where he's convalescing with his latest injury. So a minute of time added on in the first half. Seedorf. Well, he was just obstructed slightly there by Chamot. Enough contact to allow Pierluigi Collina to make a decision. That's the subtlest of arms going out there from Chamot. He's 33 now, Jose Chamot. Really is a top-class defender. Might be asked to do a bit more work here, with Recoba going to curl one in with that left foot of his. This is where the holding and tugging goes on. It's almost went right through to the goalkeeper. Gresco. Seedorf ended up on the left-hand side. And the whistle's gone, because Biagio's down in the area. So is Kaladze. Well, there's always a lot going on off the ball in set pieces like that, with a large number of players in a small space. And just take a look at Materazzi. Had Kaladze almost by the throat, certainly by the scruff of the shirt. Makes it very difficult for the referee, but Kaladze's okay. He'll virtually go straight off the pitch up the tunnel for half-time anyway, so Ancelotti can just check on his status in a moment. Same for Biagio. Well, there is the half-time whistle. Luigi Biagio in a little bit of pain, but it's been a pretty even day so far in the latest instalment of the Milan derby. Jose Mari headed a very good opportunity wide of the post, so at half-time it's Milan 0, Inter 0.
Coming up later in the show, Roma travels to Lecce riding high from its crushing midweek Champions League win over Barcelona. Lazio entertains bottom-place Venezia, searching for consecutive wins to keep in touch with the race for Europe. And the relegation dogfight intensifies with Udinese hosting Atalanta, and top scorer Dario Hubner leads Piacenza into battle against his former club Brescia. But now let's rejoin Paul Williams at the San Siro Stadium for the second half of Milan versus Inter.
Welcome back to the San Siro. Neither coach has made any changes at half-time, which means that Kaladze of Milan and Luigi Biagio of Inter have both recovered after their tangle late on in the first half. Shevchenko well stopped by Materazzi. When it comes to championships, it's a pretty tight affair as well. If Milan have 16, Inter have 13. One edge that Inter do have over their opponents is that they have never ever spent any time in Serie B. That's an interesting ball down the line for Vieri to chase. Somehow it stayed in, but Vieri couldn't keep it in. Has he? No, it's gone out for a goal kick. Both of these two teams are closely watching the result. You can see there that the whole ball needs to be over the line, and it certainly wasn't. So no wonder Vieri picked up the chase again. I was about to say that the Juventus-Bologna game is important to these two teams. Milan want a Bologna victory so they can close in on fourth place. Inter want a Juventus win so that they can steal a march and gain some valuable points on one of their close rivals. Kaladze. Shamot getting forward. Shevchenko! One count. He knew it as well. There wasn't a hint of celebration from Andrei Shevchenko. He knew he was off. But he still finished it magnificently. What a great volley on the stretch. Fine goal, but it won't count. Shamot again, trying to help his team's cause, getting forward down the left. Kaladze just over the head of Shevchenko. Shevchenko again, coming in, top save. Toldo called into action. Well, the referee again has blown. I'm not sure what for, perhaps an offside in there somewhere. That's Jose Mari. Well, coming in on the far side was Rui Costa, and he was fractionally offside. Milan's home record this season isn't too flash. They've drawn 7 of their 12 home games. There's talk of a massive clear out over the summer for Carlo Ancelotti, who of course took over part of the way through the season from Fatih Terim. That's a nice pass. Zanetti helping it forward. The shot comes in. It's a little bit of an awkward bounce for Abbiati, but not too much trouble for the young goalkeeper. And Milan, to their credit, have kept Christian Vieri very, very quiet so far. And Zanetti did very well there, just to judge the pace of the ball and the challenge as well. Biagio can't get there. Vieri can! Well, he's just starting to find a little bit of room for himself, Christian Vieri. 17 goals in 16 matches this season. They call Ronaldo El Phenomena, but really it's Christian Vieri who has been phenomenal this season. He's only managed one against Milan, though, while he's an Inter player, that is. Albertini. Jose Mari turned away, skipped past another. That was very nicely done. He's taken a wee while to adapt to Italian football, Jose Mari, after being an outstanding player last season. And it was the elbow of Materazzi that caught the Spanish international. There can be no complaint about that decision. So Rui Costa over the ball, Shevchenko there as well. Shevchenko again. Well, he has such an astonishing goal-scoring record against Inter, Andrei Shevchenko. He scored 9 goals in 7 derby matches. How he'd like to reach double figures today. It's been a tight game. You suspect there might just be 1 goal in it. Oh, that was a late challenge, but the advantage has been played. Rui Costa's in agony. Milan play on and get a corner. Now perhaps Pierluigi Collina will do something. Yes, he brings out the card, and rightly so. Seedorf, the latest to go into the book. Well, that was a shocker. On another day, Seedorf could have been given a red card. As the corner comes in, that's a good punch by Toldo. Well, the tension is mounting as the match moves into the final stages. Toldo comes out. Foot raised, as goalkeepers have a habit of doing. Inter easily dispossessed, and Rui Costa still prepared to try and take on his opponent, and Zanetti goes down under the challenge from Rui Costa. There's always a possibility of a revenge tackle when a player is really badly hurt, like Rui Costa was a few moments ago. It's funny though how he never seems to get the original player back. It's always another player who's involved. So Recoba makes way for Sergio Conceição. He's lost his place on the right-hand side of midfield with the emergence of Clarence Seedorf, but he's got an opportunity now on the left. As Shevchenko takes a shot. Well, Andrei Shevchenko didn't appear to touch anyone on the way through, but a corner's been given. Contra laying it square. Now Inter have an opportunity on the break, and look at the length of the stride for Sergio Conceição. Gattuso, he's no slouch though. He sticks with him and he's rewarded for his tenacity. Milan again. Shevchenko. Great pace. Getting past 2. Still going Shevchenko, but Materazzi was there. Well, if this is Andrei Shevchenko going through a bad spell, He must be quite a player when he's on form. And Chamot won't get there, will he? He says yes. The assistant agrees with him. I just clipped the heel there of one of the Inter defenders. That was a corner. Well, Costacurta is being replaced by the Danish international Laursen. Perhaps came into the game with a little bit of an injury that's just starting to take its toll as we move past the 70-minute mark. Gresco. Seedorf, who's swapped sides for the time being. Still going, Clarence Seedorf takes the shot. Well, not too far away. And he certainly looks like a player who's refound his confidence again. Had enough pace on the ball on the shot to have Abbiati going across his goal just to make absolutely certain. Well, of late, the general feeling about Inter is that they haven't been playing that well, but they have been picking up the points. It's a great quality to have, but it can't last forever. The performance today has been a notch or two above some recent outings, but you would expect that against an opponent like the one they have today. Here's Biagio. That's a lovely dummy. Here's Ventola across. Here's Vieri. Listen to the roar. Vieri gets his second goal in a derby game. And such has been the nature of this match that Inter now feel that they have a great chance to take all 3 points. Well, the shirt's gone, but the celebrations continue. Someone returns it back to Christian Vieri. Ventola calls the goalkeeper to make a save. Abbiati did that, but he only palmed it straight into the thigh of Christian Vieri. So just over 10 minutes remaining now, and it's Milan 0, Inter 1. Well, off the shoulder there of Abbiati, off the thigh of Vieri, and on the way through it hit the hand of Rocco Jr. So it got there eventually. And we're seeing a change now. Albertini's going off, and it's Ibrahim Bar coming on. Player who's been pretty much out of favour for a long time here at Milan. This is just his second appearance of the season. Once again, perhaps another surprising change for Ancelotti. He's taken off Costacurta and Albertini, two of the elder statesmen of the Milan team. And Ventola is going to make way. And the familiar face and hairstyle of Mohamed Kallon. Here's the goal again. Well, it was actually off the boot of Abbiati. Advantage played as Bar goes to ground. Jose Mari going in there. Gresco, top challenge. Well, there are appeals for a penalty perhaps, but Gresco timed it perfectly. It was clean as well, more importantly. And Zanetti just leaning against the post, having a break. There's plenty left in this derby yet as Milan come in search of an equaliser. Contra takes the corner. That's away by Materazzi. He's a vital component of this Inter defence, particularly in the air. Another one comes in, and Materazzi went down there. It hit the post, but it wouldn't have counted. So a foul there on Marco Materazzi as the desperation grows for Milan. Jose Mari replaced by Javi Moreno. Vieri protects the ball as it goes out for a corner. Laursen tangling with the bullish centre forward of Inter. Free header, surprisingly, for Zanetti. To Biagio is Zanetti! Hits the post! Somehow it stays out. Well, he's only scored once so far this season, Cristiano Zanetti. It was a fine strike, though, from close range, and it just came off the studs there of Jose Chamot onto the post and back to safety. Gresco continuing his run forward. Plenty of space, plenty of time for the cross. Well, it's not long now before the final whistle. There's your answer. In fact, it's about 3 minutes. So Seedorf won't be in any hurry. This means so much to the Inter fans who over the years have had to suffer more losses than wins. They've also had to suffer the success that Milan have had as well, as Kallon comes in and he can't keep control of the ball. So Inter fans will feel that this goes some way to paying their rivals back for pain inflicted in the last decade in particular. Ventola with the ice pack on. Times like this and games like this that you tend not to feel the pain. We're in the final minute now. The ball at the wrong end of the ground from a Milan perspective. Kallon surrounded by players. Milan get the throw. Less than 30 seconds to do something with it. Inter determined to box them in, to keep them in their own half. To Biagio. Well, he was just hoping to play it off someone for a corner maybe, but there's another ball there for the goalkeeper, ready to play quickly. It doesn't matter. It's the blue and black of Milan that celebrate tonight as Inter take out the latest Milan derby. And Hector Couper's stocks continue to rise with the Inter fans. They will stay top of the table, and they have beaten their arch enemies in the process. Life could not be sweeter for Inter Milan and their supporters. Christian Vieri with strike number 18 of the season. Has there been a more important one? The goal itself was not the prettiest strike of the season, but perhaps it was the sweetest. Milan 0, Inter 1.